Hi, in this video we're going to be going over data routing or routes inside of DocuMerge. Now, routes inside of DocuMerge allow you to create really complex either combined documents or multiple documents all from one request. They're a really powerful feature that we're going to dive into today and get started with a scenario of combining a generic report document we've created previously, as well as an invoice document, and all into one and delivering that to our customer. So let's get started with that. We're going to first click on the plus route sign here, and we're going to name this report and invoice. We're going to give it that name. This takes us to the settings page where we can configure this much like the documents page. We'll probably leave all these settings as is. We could always customize the name if we needed to, but that's an okay name for now. Also, we can customize the advanced settings if needed. In this case, we're not going to worry about any of those right now. Let's get over now into the rules, which is the main part of the logic for handling the data route. So let's add a rule. So this first rule is the first document that we want to have created as part of this data route. So like in here, we'd probably want our report potentially to be the first one. If we wanted the invoice to be the first one, we'd select that. So let's do the report first. We'll check that we want it included in the combined PDF. Then we're going to add another rule, and we're going to select the invoice here. Now, once again, this ordering does matter. If I were to drag this up and change this, then the invoice would actually be what gets generated first and is what's listed in the combined PDF first. So let's actually have the invoice second. Also, you'll notice that we have the add condition option here, where we can actually define some very specific logic of saying, hey, if this specific value is entered in there, then we can, and equals a specific value, then we only run this rule if that's the case. We don't need to do that for this one right here, so we won't worry about that. Let's actually update the rules now. Also, the repeat this rule is a more complex scenario too. We probably won't go into it in this video, but this is the main setup right here to get going. So let's go with this. Once again, we have the field map where we can do some additional logic and updates to data if needed before it gets to the documents. Then we have the delivery tab where we can choose, hey, these are the options, or this is where we want to deliver the generated documents that came out as a result of this data route. And then the merge tab here, just like the documents. So let's actually trigger an HTTP post to the merge URL. We're going to use a tool called Postman to help out with that. I'm going to plug this in right here. Notice that this is a lot of data. This is data that we need for generating both the invoice as well as the generic report. This data, something like this post, would typically be coming from either your custom system, and your developer would set this up to post to DocuMerge, or you could use one of the existing trigger integrations we have, or you could use another tool like Zapier that would actually send a webhook over with this data. So let's send this out. That is getting queued up. So if we come back into the overview page, we can see that that's processing. Now on the actions for a route, we can actually click the view route breakdown to get a little bit more information on what's going on with this route. And so if we actually refresh, we'll see that that's completed. But we can see the route breakdown. We actually had this generate the generic report. We had it combine the or create the invoice. It actually combined the PDFs and it converted the PDF, this docx on the fly to a PDF, and then combined those. And those all counted towards our actions for that. So now if we actually download that, we can see this combined report. So we have this very highly customized report that got generated And then at the bottom, we have our invoice that also got generated that we could then send out to the customer. So once again, that's how you can work with data routes. Hopefully this all makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our support and we can help you out with this further. Thank you so much.